let's go into my Midland cardigan. Oh, the drama around this cardigan. Some knitting math. Knit math. Hi everyone, my name is Tove. Welcome back to my channel, ToveLoveKnits. I am a knitting enthusiast, originally from Finland, but lives now in the Netherlands with my husband and my 2 children. Welcome to my little corner of the internet, and the second episode of my podcast. In today's episode, we are gonna talk about, as this video is named, a bit of a drama. We'll get to that in a minute. Let's start with what I'm wearing, which is not the finished object that I thought I was gonna be wearing, but this is my Lumme sweater from the Finnish designer Sari Nordlund. It's one of my few color works I did last year. It was a very nice design to knit, although it was quite challenging to get all the teeny tiny stitches and details correct. But yeah, I really love it. It's knitted in Drops Lima, which is a alpaca wool blend. It doesn't pill. I've washed it 2 times, I think. Hand washed it 2 times, and it doesn't pill that much. And it's really warm, really nice. And today is one of the few last days of chilliness here in Holland that I can actually wear it. So that's pretty nice. Let's get into my whips, works in progress. As you can see behind me, this is my Battenberg blanket of Sandra Paul. It is not finished, although it looks like it's finished. No, it is still here and it's still unfinished. I haven't worked on it at all. So it is here until I get to it. Something I have worked on this week is in a crocheted bag, hand crochet bag, is the Cocoon cardigan of Ann Wenzel. Let's see here. Here it is. There we go. Like so. It looks pretty much the same as last week, I would say. I put a little stitch marker on the place I was, so I got to 3 or 4 repeats maybe. Yeah, 10 centimeter, I don't know. It's been quite nice. It is very, yeah, brainless work. And when you don't have the brain power, it's very nice to have it. It's a long-standing project, and it's gonna be here for a while. But that's that one. Next up, we have my scrappy little project. It's the jigsaw blanket from Steel & West, and you saw it last week as well. This week I've added this big block and this smaller block. This is some leftover from my Midland cardigan, and this is some leftover from my long summer cardigan. Is that what it's called? Picture maybe here. Very nice, with some mohair of some drops mohair as well. Nice, it's coming along nicely. I think I'm on the 17th block. So yeah, nice. Let's see. My only Kutova Kika design at the moment Veronica Lindberg that I talked about a little bit last episode. A designer that I thoroughly enjoy and has followed for quite some years. And this is from her second book, Everyday Knits. I still don't know the name of it. Knits to Wear, I think it is. Wow. My favorite story. And let's see, that's where I put my little Christmas, there you go, Christmas sock stitch marker. A good 10 centimeters, a repeat, I think. I have added stitches in the underarm, as I talked about last time. And I think that's good. I added all in all 8 stitches in each arm. Is that correct? No. 8 stitches altogether. 4 stitches in each side. I think that's gonna be enough. I still enjoy this pattern a lot. I still enjoy this yarn a lot. The yarn is Yarn and Colors. Joy. The dye lot is number 3. It's a very nice linnegrön, very nice green colored. This Joy yarn is a, let's see what it is. It's a 25% wool, 25% acrylic, and 50% polyamide. As I said last time, this is the first time I knit something in this much synthetic material. And that's fine for me. I usually go for 100% wool, but that doesn't mean that I have to, of course. And so far, the experience of it has been quite good. It is affordable. It is available. So for me, that's win-win. Plans for this one for the following week is, right now I'm on my the beginning of my second out of 3 repeats of this underarm or this body panel. So I'm hoping that I might get through the second repeat, maybe. That would be nice. And then I have 1 repeat left. It says in the pattern that basically you should now knit until you're comfortable with the length. So I guess after the second repeat, I'm gonna try it on, see how much I still want to knit, and then we have the ribbing, of course, and then go on to the sleeves. Good. Nice. I have a feeling I'm not gonna get to wear this in the season as it is, but it might be nice in a cool summer or spring night to have it on. But otherwise, I don't mind waiting until the fall to wear my knits, so that's okay. All right, that was Veronica Lindberg's My Favorite Story. Now to my, I can't say it's my own design because it's not my own design, but it's a little bit my own plan and my own thoughts around this sweater. The basic pattern is Riverside by, let me get this right now, Asita Krebs. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. I use it very much for the basics, the base of the structure and the stitch count and the shape. And after that, I've done my own thing. Last week, last podcast, I basically were 3 centimeters in from the neck piece, and I've found so much joy in this knit that today it looks like this. I have knitted the back panel which is flat knitting with a saddle shoulder construction. And then you increase for the sleeves on either side. Let's see, like that. You increase for the sleeves. And you join in the round underneath the neckline. I added my neckband because I wanted some structure in it, and I wanted to see that it looked okay, and it wasn't too big or too small or too floppy or loose or anything like that. I think it's gonna be fine. I'm hoping the structure is gonna keep itself upright. Right now it's flopping down a little bit here, but I really enjoy the neck shape. Actually, this is really what I was going for with this kind of a very, well, it's a fingering weight yarn, so it's gonna be a little bit thinner, although it's color work. I wanted a little bit bigger neckline so you can actually wear it maybe in the summer. After that, I've knitted the underarm increases, and I have joined in the round underneath the arms, like, yeah, really basically a couple of rows there. The yarn I'm using is one strand of, let's see, one strand of Drops Nord, Drops Nord in the color name 0. It's the white color. This dye lot is, well, a bunch of numbers. I have a couple of dye lots, I think, actually with this yarn from a different project. I also bought a little bit more yarn now, 2 more balls of it, just to have. I don't see any difference in the colorway or the dye lots, and it doesn't really matter because the other color I'm using is my advent calendar from 2024, so last year, from Wool Atelier. And these are 10 gram mini skeins, so you get 10 grams per day. You open up a skein, and they are in themselves a fade, a variegation. I don't know how to really describe it. Definitely not the same type of dyeing within the skeins even. So it gives quite a big variation. I've tried to keep them in a fade, as you can see maybe better on the back. Started with quite the pink colorway, went into a green and then an orange, and now I'm into blues and going into greens. And the idea is that I'm gonna try to follow also the same. I can't, on the arms, I can't really follow exactly the same color because I don't want to split the skein into three different balls, but at least the fade is gonna go into the arms as well. But right now it's gonna go into probably more of a purple and bluish ending, so that's gonna be quite exciting. I really enjoyed how it turned out. I really enjoyed the stitch. So one stitch is the white yarn and one stitch is the color yarn, as you see, and then on the second round you switch the two together, so you get this this nice color work on it. If you can see now, I'm turning into green. So my next ball, I'll show you. The next ball looks like that, and it really is a green with a little bit of specks of purple and orange, and it's really nice. And then after this, it will go into this skein, I think, which is a green, an orange, and a little bit of purple, and then go more into a purple, I think. I take it step by step. I'd made a plan in the beginning. Probably I've changed that plan a couple of times. So whatever color really the ball ends on, I'm picking out a new color after that. But then I think this is gonna be the next one. I chose a solid color for the neckband or the neck rib. The advent calendar had maybe 2 or 3 solid color max, So I thought the orange one went really well because I picked up the orange when I really went into closing into the round. And the second color, that is the solid color, is a really neon yellow almost, and I think that would be really cool on the sleeve. So that's my plan, to try to get into a color that would work with the neon yellow. Let's see, I don't know. But it's really fun, and it's color work. And it's color work that you don't have a charge for, so it's just like, you just go for it. So it's really nice. I'm a continental knitter, but when I use color work, I use continental and English at the same time. So I hold one strand in my right hand, one strand in my left hand. And I actually posted 2 tutorials on my channel. 2 tutorials so far. I'm planning on another 2 or 3, where I showed how I use the technique of knit and purl English in continental style. And the next tutorial, I've planned to show how I then do the color work. And this is inspired, of course, of this project. So there I will go into more details about how I made this sweater. My plans for the next week is to really just trug along. Right now the pattern is that I should knit for 3 centimeters underneath the arms, and then I start to decrease a little bit and then increase. So it's very fitted sweater, which is nice. That's not really something I usually knit, but it might be nice when it's a little bit of a summery, a little bit more of a thinner material. So we'll see. I haven't tried it on. I should really try it on. So maybe that's the first plan, to try it on to see that it fits before I really start on the body. Because if I need to frog it, then now this is the moment, I guess. Very, very nice. That's the Riverside sweater with my little twist on it. Let's see. All right. Let's go into my Midland cardigan. Oh, the drama around this cardigan. Oh boy. All right, so last episode I showed you guys a almost finished cardigan. I only had a little part of the sleeve left. I had bought and then after that I bought 2 more balls of the yarn. I finished the sweater. I even wore it on a future tutorial video. You can see it here. I wore it, it was really nice, and then I decided that yes, as a good girl, I should now block this sweater before I wear it even more. I did. It took a couple of days to, of course, dry. And when I blocked it, I already noticed that it grew quite a lot. Remember I said that it was quite oversized to begin with? Yeah. It grew probably 3 sizes too big. I'm not enjoying that. I don't wear usually oversized sweaters or clothes, and as you can see here, it really is too long, it's too wide. It really doesn't work. But I really liked the design. Although the pattern is a little bit difficult to read because it's a lot of information in the pattern. This is the Midland cardigan, sorry, from Laura Penrose Knits. But I like the design, and I like the pattern, and I like the look, and I love the yarn. So I decided that today is Saturday, last Wednesday or Thursday, I decided to just start over. Who am I? Yeah, I decided to start frogging it, and I started ripping. Rip it. That's where frogging comes from, like a frog. Yeah, so I started over. I did a couple of things. I did 3 things when I started over to really hopefully get down the size. Originally I knitted size 3. Let me show you what's left of the cardigan at the moment. I knitted a size 3. You can see how big it is. Oh Lord, okay. With a 5mm needle. And because I think it's because it's garter stitch, because you knit it from the side to side, it grows. And there's really no, with stockinette you have the structure of the stitches in together. The garter stitch really just, it's like an accordion, it just grows. So what I did 3 things. I went down a size, so now I'm knitting size 2, which makes it also faster. I went down a needle size, a full needle size. So this was knit, this is the old cardigan. This was knit in size 5, and now I'm knitting in size 4. Just to keep the stitches tighter, so not to have this accordion effect. Plus, now the rib on the bottom is out, but as you can see, it's way too long. So I also took off 10 stitches in the bottom of the cardigan. So I started on, let's say I started on Thursday fully. It's now Saturday, so it's 3 days. I've been obsessed. I've been obsessed with this. I also feel like I need to keep the momentum going, because if you start frogging, you are almost certainly left with a I don't want to do this attitude. I'm sick of it. I've done this already. So I didn't want to get there, so I wanted to just to push through and see also that it worked. This is where I am now, so you can see how teeny tiny it is now, and I think it's appropriate for the length and at least the width. So this is where you start. So I knitted the front panel, I knitted the back panel. The back panel, this is size 2, but I did add 10 rows in the back panel because I started measuring my width of the neck. So I added 10 rows. I think that's a good decision because now it does seem to be a little bit more room in the back. And I continued on to the right side, and I finished the front panel for the right, the front increases, and now I just have the shoulder cap. Then you take the stitches together and create the the side of the cardigan. And after that, I think I'm gonna block it. Well, for 2 reasons, of course. This takes 3 days for me to knit. So if it's now too small, well, if it's too small, I can add width quite easily. And I'm not worried about the length. I can also always add quite a lot of ribbing if I don't have enough length. I like a thick rib. But I'm gonna block it and I'm gonna try it on and see so it grows the way I think it's gonna grow still. I think the garter stitch is gonna loosen up exactly like it did with the first sweater or the first cardigan. So I'm not worried about that. It's very wriggly and kniggly and looks like a horrible noodle pack. It's because it's the second time I knit this, so I'm knitting with a wiggly yarn, with a wiggly stitch. So I'm hoping that's also gonna calm down and relax a little bit. And then after that, I'll get to the ribbing, I'll get to the sleeves, I get to the neckband, and actually finish this cardigan. I'm motivated. I really hope I'm gonna get there and it's gonna be good because I really love it. And the only reason for me to frog it and really start over was that I really loved it and I want to wear it, and I knew that the way it looked on me, It's not flattering for my body type. I'm quite short, so having that long of a cardigan in the back is really not working for me. So I was never gonna wear it, and that's just a waste of time and money. So yeah, I started over. I never started over a project like this before. It never has gone this badly before, but it's okay. It's nice to experience maybe, and it's just funny that it happens my second podcast in, which is maybe good content. Anyway, yeah, that's fun. I think I will finish this shoulder cap tonight. I will block it, have it on the radiator for tomorrow and see how it looks then. Midland cardigan from Laura Penrose. Ongoing project. So not the FO that I wanted to show you guys this week, but that's fine. This is slow fashion, so it can take the time it takes. Right, that's all the ongoing projects. Before I started frogging this cardigan, when I was blocking it, I of course started to think about what I want to knit next. And I decided on a t-shirt because it's springtime. Soon, hopefully soon. And the t-shirt I have had my eyes on for a while is the Tolsta tee from Creabea. Creabea, Rebecca is a Scottish designer that I also really like to watch her progress. I like her designs. They're very cozy, casual. A sweater that I have had my own eyes on for a while as well is the Stick Season sweater. I like the simplicity, but with the there's fun things happening, but it's quite simple and quite nice. But yeah, the Tulsa tee. I am not making it exactly like her pattern is. I'm using the twist of one of her test knitters, and the test knitter is called, I'm gonna absolutely tell you guys her name, Cocoa Knits. Yeah, Cocoa Knits. I'll show it here. And it's this version with the eyelets. I think that's quite nice when it comes to a t-shirt. It's something, and it's quite easy to do this pattern. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I started to, I started with a gauge swatch. I'm gonna show you the yarn I'm using. I'm really in an Annelle phase right now. The Midland cardigan is Annelle Malmedy. Malmedy? Oh, it's of course Malmedy. 100% wool. This yarn that I chose to do this t-shirt is Annelle Miami. I'm on my phone, so now it's backwards. And it's a 60% cotton and 40% acrylic yarn. It's a stash yarn of mine that I've had for 7 years, really long time, and it's been laying in my stash forever. And now I finally decided what to do with it, and it's this t-shirt. I did a gauge swatch. I started with a size 3.2 needle. I did my gauge swatch, and here you can see. Can you see? You cannot see. Well, yeah, it's a gauge swatch. I even blocked it, guys. Wow. Then I thought it was too tight, too thick, so I tried again with a 4mm needle, and that was too loose. So now the problem I have is that I have two sets of interchangeable needles. One set goes from I think 3 millimeters up to 11. And one set is a smaller one that goes from 3.25 down to 2.5, I think, 2.5 millimeters. And I would like to then do something in between 3.25 and 4. So that would be 3.5 or 3.75. So probably 3.5. Now, that set of needles, I have 3 cords, and all of those cords are in use. So I can't use the set of the bigger size needles. So I have to use the set for the smaller size needles. So it's gonna have to be 3.25. I have accepted it. I've lived with it. I looked at it, and I think because I have the eyelet version of this t-shirt, it's gonna still be loose and airy enough, and enough then now cover with the 3.25 needle set that I can use this one. However, the pattern gauge is 17 stitches on 10 centimeters, and I get with 3.25. Let me see. I organized myself, by the way, with Knit California's new, or well, the first knitting calendar, or whatever it is, journal, Knit California journal. This is where I organize myself with all my knits. Let's do some knitting math. Knit math. Yeah, with the 3.25 needle, I get 21 stitches over 10 centimeter. That's quite far away from the 17 stitches. This means that I get more stitches in the same 10 centimeters, or if you turn it around, it takes more stitches for me to knit 10 centimeters. So if I knit 17 stitches, it will be a smaller project. So I have to go up in size, and I have calculated that I have to go up all the way to size number 5, which would give a bust circumference of 120 centimeters. I have a 104 centimeter bust. So if you calculate with 21 stitches instead of 17 stitches, I would come to a bust measurement of 108 centimeters. The pattern tells you to do, well, at least 5 centimeter. Is it 0 to 8 or anything like that? More than your bust circumference. So I think that's gonna be fine. Again, I don't like this really a lot of extra material, and with the t-shirt definitely not. So that's gonna be good. So I'm gonna do 3.25 needles, size number 5. It's gonna be a lot of knitting with a small size needle, but it's a t-shirt, so at least you don't get the long sleeves. That's gonna be my next project. And yeah, and finally I'm gonna get some stash out of my, some yarn from my stash. So let's talk about the stash. So many of us knitters tell themselves that they should do a stash down in every beginning of every year. Me as well. As I mentioned, I went through my stash in the end of December. I weighed it all, so I just really are counting on grams in and grams out in my stash down project, and my goal is to really reduce it. I have a lot of old yarn, I have a lot of weird yarn. I got a lot of yarn from an old colleague, and that is mostly acrylic blends, mohair. That is definitely able to be used. And I have a lot of bits and pieces here and there, sock yarn, a couple of sort of quantities, but all in all, when I gathered everything up, including my whips, I came to a sum in the end of December of my stash, of my yarn stash, of 19,346 grams. So 19 kilos of yarn. It's definitely the worst it's ever been. So I'm now actively thinking about what I'm buying, that I'm not buying that much, that I'm knitting for my stash first. But of course I'm knitting what I want to knit as well. And I'm trying to plan a little bit ahead. I'm keeping a count on what I bought and what I'm knitting, so in and out. And in January, my total in was 1,025 grams. And this was basically the Midland cardigan yarn. And a sweater's quantity of yarn that I think I have a plan for. I think that's gonna be good. But when I calculated everything, what I finished, I was still negative 273 grams. So going into February, I had a little bit over 19,000 grams. In February, I didn't really finish a lot, but I didn't buy anything. I'm not counting anything that is unfinished as out of my stash, except for the jigsaw cardigan, jigsaw blanket. Those bits and pieces I consider finished when they're finished. I was negative 398 grams that month of February. So that brings my total stash down to 18,675 grams. So we're going somewhere. In March, I did buy, so far I bought 2 skeins or 2 balls of the white drops nude for my Riverside sweater, and I bought the 2 balls of Anel Malmedy for the Midland cardigan, which now I realize I didn't even need. So I probably need to find something else, maybe a hat or something else to do with that, because I've already put it in my jigsaw blanket. So, yeah. Let's see what the total is next episode, if it's in April. Well, the first episode in April, I will tell you about the March total. Loose goal is at least 1,000 grams this year. I think that I can do. I'm already at 500, more than 500. So that's gonna be fine. My real goal that I'm not telling anyone, so don't tell anyone, is 5,000. Then I have to start knitting. It's this one. If I get this one done, that's gonna be huge, because this one is very, very heavy. Okay, cool. Let me see. I have my notes here. Yeah. So for this week, I might actually have a podcast for you already next week. We'll see. For this week, I will focus on blocking and trying on my Midland cardigan. I'm gonna try to finish a little bit, well, maybe the body before ribbing for my favorite story, and then work on the Riverside, because the Riverside is so fun. I would have to finish, I think, one of these projects. I'm sorry, maybe you hear, I think it's our neighbors. All right. Hopefully that wasn't too much noise. Where was I? Now, that's that for the plan for this week. In other news, what's going on in my life this week is that Formula 1 has started, and we are definitely a Formula 1 family. From Finland, and well, having a Dutch husband and a Finnish wife. I'm sad that Bottas is not a main driver this this season. I think it's the first year for a very long time that we don't have a Finnish driver on the grid, but we are all Max Verstappen fans in this house, so I'm hoping he's gonna have a good season. Less drama this season maybe than before. It's gonna be a fun one, I think. What I'm also following at the moment is the last season of Only Murders in the Building. I really enjoy that series. So that's 2 tips for you to do this weekend or this week. And then let's talk about it in the comments and next time maybe. Yeah, so that's it for me. Check out my tutorials if you haven't already. And there will be one more coming maybe already next week, as soon as I get to it. Again, this was a long one, but I'm guessing that this is gonna be the length of my podcasts. I have a lot to talk about, specifically when drama happens, and I'm starting to frog all my finished objects. Anyway, thanks everyone for listening so far. I hope you have a great week and enjoy a lot of knitting and a lot of good weather. Everyone, take care.